Hello everybody, welcome to the GeoGebra tutorial on basics of spreadsheets. If this is the first time you're using GeoGebra, please see the Introduction to GeoGebra tutorial on the Spoken Tutorial website. To get started with GeoGebra, I am using the GNU Linux operating system Ubuntu version 10.04 LTS and the GeoGebra version 3.2.40.0. The objective of this tutorial is to see how to use the spreadsheets in GeoGebra. In this tutorial, we will use the spreadsheets to perform basic data representation and calculation and use the data to construct a histogram. We will also see how the spreadsheet view can be used to create recurring GeoGebra objects, like creating a set of parallel lines. First, we will use the marks of 50 students in a 50-mark test. The from and to class boundaries and frequency is available here. I am going to copy the frequency onto the clipboard. Now to the GeoGebra window. The first step is to make the spreadsheet view visible. Select the menu item view and check the spreadsheet view. Now let's move the spreadsheet view here. The first column A represents the from class boundary, column B 2 and column C frequency. Now I copied the frequency, so let me paste it here. Now for the from and to values, I did not paste these because I will show you another feature of GeoGebra spreadsheets. First I will start with 0, then 5 and 10. Now if I select the two cells here and then drag this blue square all the way down, notice an arithmetic progression is created. Similarly, I can do that for the 2 value. Let us create the class boundary list and the frequency list. To do that, select the column B here, right click and say create list. Notice L1 here, which means L_1 is created. We just have to modify this by checking on right clicking and checking on object properties and making sure the first value 0 appears here, and press close. Now for the frequency list, do the same thing. Select the frequencies, right click and say create list. I have L2. Now to create the histogram, go to the input bar here. You can select from the commands here, or you can just type in histogram. Now right here between these square brackets, if you press enter, it tells you the different options. One of the options is the list of class boundaries and list of raw data. Let's use that. I would say L_1. GeoGebra is case sensitive, and for the class boundaries, and L_2 for the frequency, and press enter. Notice that a histogram is created here. Now to make the histogram more visible or readable, I will use the move drawing pad, and then I will also right click on the drawing pad properties here and change this distance to 5, which is the width of each bar, and say close. Then I can zoom out and again move the drawing pad. Notice when I create the histogram, it creates this value A equals 250. A is the sum of the product of length and width of each bar. I can move this A value up here. The next step is to create points and lines in the spreadsheet view to get a set of parallel lines to the y-axis. I will take a new GeoGebra window Now any command from GeoGebra can be typed in a cell here. First, to create a point, you just have to give a point like this. Notice the point appears here with the name A1, which is column A, row 1, the cell address, with coordinates 1, 2. Similarly, I can type in here 2, 2 and press enter. I get A2. Now if I select these two cells and then drag that blue square down, let me move this here. For this tutorial, I will close the algebra view. Notice I get 10 points here. Now similarly, I will, in column B, I will do 1, 4 as a point. I get this point here. I can right click and say show label. It shows B1, the cell address. I again type in 2, 4 and I get B2. I can again drag these and I get 10 points here. Now in the third column, if I want to create the line segment, I can use the GeoGebra command segment, and in the value I can give the cell address A1. Let me move this here, comma B1 and say enter. This is the length of the line which is between A1 and B1. Now I can just select this cell and drag it all the way down. I get a set of 10 parallel lines. One more thing to note is, if you go to options and algebra, right now it's at values, so you see the length of the line in column C. I can change it to command and it will show me the command. Now to the assignments. In the first assignment, create a histogram using the following data of distance between home and school for a class of 35 students. I have the class boundaries and frequency here. Use the spreadsheet view to represent the data, create class boundary and frequency lists, use the input bar to create the histogram with the lists, change the frequency and observe the change in the histogram. I have already created this tutorial here. Notice the histogram here. Now to the next assignment. In assignment 2, we will create concentric circles using the spreadsheet view. Draw a point A on the drawing pad to mark the center of the circle. Use the spreadsheet to create a column A of radius. Use column B of the spreadsheet to create the circles with center A and the radius from column A. Move the center point and observe. I have created the assignment here. Move the center point and observe the circles. I would like to acknowledge the spoken tutorial project, which is part of Talk to a Teacher project. It is supported by the National Mission on Education through ICT MHRD Government of India. You can see more information about this at this website. Thank you. This is Bindu signing off.